wake up. Okay, now that we're awake, I don't know. So now that we're awake, sine 2 theta plus 30 minus 1 equals minus. In this case, I didn't draw the graph. We can imagine that there's a graph and we know that sine theta looks like that and 2 theta looks twice like that. The plus 30 is going to move it around left and right. The minus 1 moves it up and down. But in this case, there it is, just straight up. So let's work on it like we did the others. So sine 2 theta plus 30 minus 1, add 1 to both sides equals a half. Okay, great stuff. Now we need to find our reference angle as we always did, and we go sine minus 1 of a half. Now we did this a few times already, but you know what? Let's just get the old trusty calculator if it wants to come up and go shift sine of a half, but we know by now that that's 30 degrees, right? So we've seen enough times, maybe your special angles, or you just punch in the calculator again. So our reference angle is 30 degrees. Now, this relates to the 2 theta plus 30 degrees. So, if we look at our cast diagram, this is going to help us figure out which quadrants we're in. We don't have a picture anymore to see, oh, well, I know there are going to be 4 solutions or 8 or 10 or, wait, it didn't even say between negative 360 and 360. Okay, just said find the general solution. Okay, interesting. In a lot of ways, this makes our life a lot easier. So sine is positive, so we're either there or we're there. 30 degrees or 150 degrees. So our 2 theta plus 30 equals 30 degrees. That's our first solution. Or, I'll leave a bit of space here, 2 theta plus 30 degrees equals 150 degrees. Right, there are 2 solutions. But the sine graph repeats itself every 360 degrees. So we could add 360k plus 360k, where k is an integer. In other words, we can add 1 360, 2, 3, subtract them, add none of them. So 2 theta plus 30 equals 30. Well, here's just a little equation to solve. So let's solve our equation. 2 theta plus 30, subtract 30 from both sides. 2 theta equals 0 degrees plus 360k, because we've subtracted 30 from both sides. Divide both sides by 2, and theta equals 0 degrees plus 180k. Okay, so we've divided everything through by 2. So in other words, theta could be 0, theta could be 180, theta could be 360, theta could be, and so it goes, right? 540 add 180. Or it could have been 0 minus 180. But the general solution is saying, there's one of our answers, generally. Now for our second equation, subtract 30 from both sides. 2 theta equals 120 plus 360k. Remember, I'm just adding like terms here. So if I've subtracted 30 from there, and I've subtracted 30 from there, so it doesn't become 330k, because not like terms. Okay, divide both sides through by 2. What you do to one side, you do to both sides, and you do to all terms. So our second part of our general solution is theta equals 60 plus 180k. So there are 2 parts to our solution. Thank goodness we don't have to think about which ones match between minus 360 and 360. It kind of is just, that's our general solution. Okay, so that's it for the first kind of half of general solutions. The next ones we're going to have to use our identities and such forth to solve. So of course it's going to be more exciting. So anyway, I'll see you in those next ones while you of course make it maths.